Tonight, we gather not just to say goodbye, but to celebrate a light that changed the shape of our world. One woman danced between the shadows and the spotlight and reminded us that being ourselves is the greatest act of courage. We gather for Diane Keaton. Ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, colleagues, and fans, we have come together in memory of an extraordinary artist, a dear friend, a loving mother, and a true original, Diane Keaton. Her passing at the age of 79 on October 11th, 2025, in California, has left a profound void in the world of film, the arts, and in our hearts. Although there is no formal public funeral service announced at this time, her family has asked that we hold in our minds and hearts an enduring tribute to her life and legacy. Hollywood Life Plus One Diane Keaton's passing was confirmed earlier this week, and according to reports, she died peacefully in California after a sudden battle with pneumonia. Her family announced that she was cremated in a private ceremony on October 14th, just days after her passing. While no public funeral has yet been scheduled, tributes are pouring in from around the world, and social media is flooded with messages from fans who grew up watching her movies, admiring her charm, and finding pieces of themselves in her honesty. For many, this isn't just the loss of a performer, it's the end of a cultural era. Born Diane Hall in Los Angeles in 1946, she was destined to be different. Even in her early days, Diane had a kind of offbeat magnetism that Hollywood didn't quite know what to do with. But that difference became her power. When she changed her last name to Keaton and began pursuing acting seriously, she stepped into an industry that celebrated perfection and showed it that imperfection could be just as beautiful. Her breakthrough role came in 1977 with Annie Hall, a film that would not only earn her an Academy Award for Best Actress, but also redefine what a leading woman could be. Diane's portrayal of the witty, awkward, and endlessly charming Annie Hall wasn't just acting. It was revelation. Her clothes, her voice, her mannerisms, they became part of pop culture history overnight. Even today, her layered blazers, wide-brimmed hats, and neckties are considered timeless symbols of individuality. But Diane Keaton was much more than a quirky character. She was a woman of depth, intellect, and emotional power. Her work in the Godfather series showcased her dramatic strength, while films like Red's, Baby Boom, and Something's Gotta Give proved her incredible range. She could make you laugh, cry, and think, sometimes all within the same scene. What made her so unique was her fearlessness in showing her humanity. She didn't try to be perfect. She tried to be real. And that's exactly why millions loved her. As news of her death spread, Hollywood legends came forward to express their grief. Woody Allen, who directed her in several of her early films, called her a once-in-a-lifetime presence, unlike anyone the planet has ever known. Fellow actress Goldie Hawn said, "Diane made being yourself the most fashionable thing in the world." Even newer stars who never had the chance to work with her shared stories of how she inspired them, not just through her movies, but through her interviews, her books, and her fearless individuality. She was proof that you didn't have to fit in to shine. In fact, she proved that standing out is what makes you unforgettable. Those close to her say that in recent months, Diane's health had declined quietly. She kept her struggles private, focusing on spending time with her two children, Dexter and Duke, whom she adopted later in life. Motherhood, she often said, was her greatest role. In one of her last interviews, she spoke about how her children had completely changed her, how they gave her life more purpose than Hollywood ever could. It's that side of Diane, the gentle, nurturing mother, the humble artist, that her family is holding on to now. In their statement, they asked fans to remember her not through sadness, but through joy, and to honor her memory by donating to local food banks and animal shelters, causes that she deeply cared about. The news of her cremation confirmed that the farewell would be a private affair, attended only by close family and friends. But even without a public service, millions are finding their own ways to say goodbye. Across social media, fans are sharing their favorite movie moments, quotes, and even fashion tributes, from recreating her iconic Annie Hall outfits to sharing pictures of themselves in her signature hat. In this digital age, her memorial has become global, heartfelt, and deeply personal. Her colleagues remember her as both eccentric and deeply kind. She was known to show up to set with bags full of Polaroid photos, her favorite hobby, snapping pictures between takes and laughing about the smallest things. She wasn't a diva, though she could have been. She was an artist who believed in living with curiosity. Her co-stars often said that working with Diane was like working with electricity. Unpredictable, exciting, and completely alive. That same energy can still be felt in every performance she left behind. Even as she aged, Diane never lost her sparkle. She continued to work, appearing in films like Book Club and Palms, showing audiences that joy and vitality don't fade with time. They evolve. She embraced getting older with grace and humor, often joking about it in interviews. In one, she said, "Aging is like being on a long, weird road trip. You can't turn back, but you can still sing along to the radio." That was Diane, witty, wise, and wonderfully unpredictable until the end. For those who loved her, her death feels like the end of an era, but also the continuation of a legacy that will outlive us all. Every time someone watches The Godfather, Annie Hall, or Something's Gotta Give, they'll see her, that sparkle in her eyes, that rhythm in her speech, that courage in her choices. She changed what it meant to be a leading woman in Hollywood. She wasn't just someone who played roles. She created them, shaped them, owned them. And now, even in her absence, she continues to teach us something profound about life, that the greatest performance any of us can give is simply to be ourselves. Tonight, as candles are lit across Los Angeles and fans gather outside her Hollywood Walk of Fame star, people aren't mourning just an actress. They're mourning a friend they felt they knew. For 5 decades, Diane Keaton invited the world into her life through film, through laughter, and through vulnerability. And now, even as she takes her final bow, her story reminds us that art, like love, never truly dies. It simply changes form. Her laughter will still echo through the halls of cinema. Her words will still inspire young dreamers who believe in being different. Her style will still appear on fashion runways, proving that confidence never goes out of style. And her warmth, that unmistakable, unguarded warmth, will continue to live in the hearts of everyone who ever saw her smile. As her family says their private goodbyes, the world joins them in spirit. And somewhere out there, maybe Diane's looking down, hat tilted, smile wide, saying, "Don't be sad, kid. Life was good. It really was." Because for Diane Keaton, it always was. Her story doesn't end here. It simply lives on, one frame, one laugh, one brave moment at a time. Rest easy, Diane. The world will never forget you.